get a piece of that. Oh, so good, so good, so good. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Crewcast, episode 6. Let's go around and do some introductions, starting on the left, my boy.
I am Ethan. That is all.
Travis.
Your boy. He's your boy.
I'm Sneaky Pete.
Cornback, Corbin.
Captain Blunders or Brendan.
And Tim.
Hello, my name is Tim.
So I recently went on this hangout, which I thought it was a hangout. So I went to 2 back-to-back what I thought were hangouts, which I was told. And the person that I went on with brought it up specifically to make a point that she was talking to a stranger. Like, she was telling somebody, like, oh, I'm going to hang out with this guy. And she was telling me this from a secondhand perspective on how she was telling somebody else that she was going to hang out with me. She was like, yeah, I'm just telling my mom yesterday that I was going on this date with a guy. And I was like, what?
She's like, Mom, this is a stranger. If I die...
No, it's more like, hey, you want to like go and just kind of like hang out and have fun? I was like, sure. And then she was like, on the date itself, twice, both, hey, you want to hang out? Yeah. Casual hangout? Yeah. And then, yeah, so I was telling somebody else that this date I was going on with you, was just, I was like.
So it's basically like you thought it was hanging out. She thought it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but she wants you so bad. So bad. Is this the Lord of the Rings, like all that stuff? Same chick?
So yeah, it just, that's how it was. And it was kind of like awkward because it was like, why would you make a point to like say that specifically? So that's just.
I have a rule.
What a story to start the podcast.
I don't know.
Did you have a way?
This leads into some dating topics that I've asked. So I had certain situations happen. I'm not going to talk about them, but certain situations happen where I asked family members for some advice, and I've gotten very different explanations from different people. So I wanted to get your guys' opinion.
What are these advice?
As men. And I guess we'll just go around in a circle. We'll start off with Tim. Tim, you ask someone out, and you take him out to
That's the question. You ask someone out.
You ask someone out, and you murder them. So you ask someone out, you take him to dinner. The check comes, and the waitress goes, do you want to split or together? What is the response from Tim?
And I took them out.
You asked them out, yes.
I asked them out, then I pay for it.
Correct.
And Brendan?
You win, correct.
Yeah, that's 20 points to Tim's.
Okay. I've heard this rule of thumb is whoever asks the person out pays for the date. So if a girl asks you out, then she's gonna pay for it. But
We'll get
when
to that.
do
We'll get to
women
that.
ever
You ask
ask
someone out.
anybody out? But yes, I would pay since I asked them out. That's just the rule of thumb for me, because if I asked them out, then I'm prepared for it, so might as well.
Correct. Yeah. If you ask someone out, you're paying.
Yeah.
I feel like I have maybe a little bit of controversy in that.
Oh, ooh. Ethan being the big feminist man over here.
No. Well, since we're all talking about equals, no. So depending on how it
Equal
goes,
rights,
how you
equal
talk
fights.
with it, because I feel like if you actually want to get to know the person, then there'll be a lot of communication beforehand. And depending on what you do, it could be for free. But say if it's like a paid thing, you're going to dinner.
You ask a stranger out.
You ask a stranger out.
You meet someone at YSA. You ask him out. You meet up the next day.
Yeah, I feel like if it's a random person, I would pay if I'm asking him out.
You say it's like fifth date.
Fifth date, I would be like, hey, want to split?
Okay.
Maybe I get the popcorn, you get the ice cream or something like that?
If
No,
I
okay, that's different. That's different snacks. You go to a restaurant.
I was gonna say
and
yeah.
The waitress asks the question, how is this gonna happen? And you guys haven't previously talked about it. Sorry.
I would say split the bill.
Okay.
No. If you ask and that leads to more dates, it's still you. I'd still pay. If it was like you get popcorn, I get drinks, fair, that makes sense.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
it's I'm taking you to dinner 4 times in a row, I'm paying 4 times in a row.
Well, it's just like fourth date. But
That's
you
how I
asked
feel.
on the fourth. Okay. And then we'll go around again. Tim, she asks you, and the check comes, and the waitress says, "How do you want the bill?"
So this is where it almost can get interesting. I agree with what Brendan was saying earlier, where it just makes sense whoever asks on the date, that's who pays. But I almost feel like it is interesting, where it's like, you almost feel like, oh, I'd at least pay for my own. And I think one day I did do that. So,
Well, and that's a thing where it's like, it's part of, I think it's part of being a man where you're the provider, so you pay for the dates. Even if it's paying for your own half, I would never feel right about letting them pay for the whole thing, period.
No. Yeah.
I think it's just kind of like how you're raised. Like, you know, like we all grew up like we pay when we take somebody out, and, you know, because we're the guy. And so it's our job, you know, to provide for the date and for the food and all that kind of stuff. Like, how can you not, you know, it's kind of just awkward. And then the conversation too is awkward. Like nowadays, especially here in like our state and everything, it's just the guy pays every single time. If you go to maybe like California, maybe like Washington, D.C. and everything, possibly you might find girls that would like do that and stuff. At the same time, I don't know. This world is like so.
Yeah, it's one of those things, though. It's like if somebody initiated the date with you and it was their idea and they planned it all out, it's like you would expect.
Yeah.
Well, and this is the thing where it's like, if it's an activity and they ask me on the activity, they're paying. If it's like dinner or something where something I consumed, I would feel bad about not paying my meal. But if it's like, hey, we're going to classic skating,
Yeah.
like they had a whole day planned out and they asked me and I was like, yeah, okay, I guess. Like I wasn't all like,
Yeah.
then they're paying.
I won't do. Something I will not do is if a woman asks me out and expects me to pay for something, I'm leaving. Like, I am leaving the bill and leaving. She's basically just using me at that point. Like, hey, you want to go on a date? Yeah, for sure. And then I'm thinking she's into me, and then she's like, you got the check, right? It's like, are you kidding me right now?
I'm gonna
You
go.
just got used.
I'm gonna go make some turkey stuffing.
I'd
in
be
the
like,
back.
here,
That's
hold
when
on
you
one
just hop out the
second. I'll be
window.
right back. And then I'm walking out. I am walking out. I don't care. Your daddy's freaking wallet can pay for it. If you think you're entitled for that.
And then we'll go around to Ethan to answer.
Exactly.
Controversy. Yeah, I'd say this is where
Big feminist man.
oh my gosh. If anything, I'm opposite feminist. If anything, I'm more just wanting to be equal. I want to
Woman
have
hater?
Equal rights, equal fights.
Equal rights, equal fights?
Equal lefts.
Well, I mean, the whole part of you going out on a date and you trying to find a significant other is that you two can spend eternity together. If it's all on you and she's just kind of over there just doing her thing, I feel like she's not really contributing a lot to the whole whatever is going on. I feel.
I agree with that.
What does that have to do with her asking you on a date and paying for the date?
If she would ask me, this is where I'm saying that this is where it would potentially work, because if she asked you out on the date, I'd still be like, hey, maybe we split the bill. That way she doesn't feel like she is encumbered with the entirety of what we're trying to do.
But then if you like her, you ask her on the next date and then you pay. You're even.
So this is where I ran into that situation. Is she asked me out? She drove. You know, she came, picked me up. We drove, went to the mall. We ended up like going to a sit-down place.
You buy her clothes?
So I feel like if we went to like some like fast food restaurant, you know, we went in and we walked through, like we probably would have ended up covering like our own meals. But the check came and I expected her to pay or ask me, hey, did you want to split this? Or I was going to offer, you know, to pay for myself. And that's where I think it's fair. It's like it would be so good if she just offered to like, oh, mine. Because, you know, it's like you asked me and then, or if she asked for split the bill, even more, just nom.
Yeah, it's like if she gives you the chance. If she's
Waitress
like, hey,
came, dropped one bill. And I was like, and I was trying to make small talk so she could like have time to like do her thing or think about whatever. And then eventually she's like, "Oh, you ready to go?" I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm done eating." And then I kind of just looked at it. And instead of giving it that whole like awkward like silence, I was like, I'd love to pay for us. Like, you drove me, but in my mind I was like, piece of fetch. Asking me out, getting free dinner, piece of trash.
No, exactly. That's the thing is it's like if they ask you out and they expect you to pay. That's the thing. If it's like, hey, what do you like? How do you want to? Do you want to split? Do you want me to pay? Do you want to pay? Then it's like, cool, I have the option. If they're like, thanks for the dinner, you're paying. It's like,
Okay, Tim, how about this? And we'll go around. Last situation. Somebody says, hey, you want to hang out? You say yes. You go to a place like, say, classic skating or a place where you have to pay for the entry. Like, you go to a concert. You go up, and you're the first one in the line. And you've been making small talk with them the whole time. And then you walk up to the counter, and they're standing not behind you, to the side of you. Do you say, one ticket, please? Or do you say, I got to go make some Campbell's chicken noodle soup real quick. You pay for yourself, and then you come back.
See,
I
that's
pay
a
for myself.
Easy question, because I just pay for myself. Because I almost would put, if you're going to hang out, it's in the same as if I'm going with you guys. You're standing next to me. I'm sorry. I'm going to just pay for myself. But
That's so interesting because, like, when I was thinking about it, like, in the whole line when I was going up, oh, yeah, and this happened again the second time, but I was just like, I didn't know what to do. But I went up there, and there was, like, 2 people, but in the line, I was like, fetch. I'll just pay for myself. Fetch that. And, like, my mind, I was like, screw all this. And then we got up. I was like, 2, please. And then later I was thinking about it. Oh, hope she never watches this because then it'll be bad. I don't mind it now. This means nothing. Like, we're just talking about it because I think it's interesting.
I'm going to find her.
Halfway through this event, say you're at a concert. They ask, hey, do you want to go and get some water? And you go, sure. And she picks up a water. You pick up a water. You again go to checkout, standing next to you.
I think I want to further explain my position, because instead of just splitting the bill, it'd be like I pay for myself, you pay for yourself, and I feel like that works out a lot in different situations. Because if someone said, they're like, hey, I want to get these peanut butter M&Ms, are you going to just be like, well, here's my wallet, just have fun. Here, credit card, just make it yourself. Just no.
But I was saying
they're
you're
going
awkward, so I was like, instead of leaving it up to chance or anything that could happen, I was like, I'm just going to take away the risk of the situation entirely and just, here's my card.
Here's an even better way to get rid of the risk.
So what are your guys' hold on, what are your guys' advice to me?
Marriage.
Marriage brings us together today.
So how do you help Travis combat the situation? Because like I said, both times I was like, I didn't want to bring up, hey, are you going to pay? How does one? Yeah. She never talked about it. It wasn't implied that she wouldn't.
And you're asking.
And then while it
She
came up, while
expected
we're
you to
there,
pay.
she was like, hey, do you want to go out to eat? And then the next time was like, hey, do you want to go to this place? So it wasn't pre-planned, like, hey, we're going to go. So I could have probably texted like, oh, I'd love to cover myself so you don't have to cover me. You know, she asked me out. That would be what I would do, but it was in person. So it adds another layer of, ooh. So how would Tim do this in person? Do you just have to have some huevos and just, I'll pay for myself?
yeah, you just have to have that gut and just be like, I'm gonna just stand for what you feel. It's like, be blunt, and I feel like I've found that a lot. Just going out, and it's like, just you have to do it right then and there when it comes to mind. Just go and do it. If you start second guessing yourself, then it ends up leading to something.
You just take the
yeah.
awkwardness in stride as well.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
you have to take.
See,
it,
that's
eat it.
why I was like, it is not worth. It's like, pay $30 for dinner to avoid that awkwardness. For the awkward. What about how does Ethan go about this? Equal rights, equal lefts.
Oh, I just have
So-
one last thing. Is
Oh yeah.
just I try to skip over the awkwardness. There's like as fast as you can, just like continue
Rip
the
the Band-Aid
conversation.
off.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
like,
just
I'll
like
pay for myself. What do you want to do inside?
yeah, it's like what's
So-
the next thing we're going to? Like right after that. So it's like I'll pay for myself and then just continue the conversation, don't linger it. So maybe just pre-plan what you're gonna ask after.
Tim needs to write a book. That's chapter 1, verse 1. Tim 1:1. Avoid the awkwardness and go to the next step. What's,
I don't know.
What's
I feel like I just like set myself up so I avoid the awkwardness of like doing that. So like if a girl asks me out stuff like that and she's like, "Oh, I want to go out to dinner" and stuff like that, I would probably suggest something more casual first of all, because like my step is you do something
we went to
casual
like a Chili's.
on the kind of like a hangout and stuff like that to kind of gauge each other's
30
feelings like of like how their personality is, what type of person they are and stuff like that. Then if you enjoy it and stuff like that, then I'd be like, yeah, for sure, I'm going to take this person out. And then I would ask them out. Then it'd put it on me of paying. So it's kind of like I have a buffer of being like, no, I won't go on like an official date with you until I hang out with you, because I don't want to be in that awkward situation being like, oh, I think I might like this girl, and then go and I'm spending all this money on somebody I hate.
See, Travis can handle all that. It's the unplanned, in the moment. Like, hey, do you want to stop at like while we're here? You want to just hop into this Chili's right here? So we went to the mall and there was a restaurant in there, and we just went. So it was like on the cusp. It wasn't like you said like it was talked about beforehand. It was like, hey. So it was like none of it was talked about, and then the bill came and it was just like. Just eyeballs.
Yeah, and that Tim's 100%
See,
right. there.
isn't it just kind of awkward? Because then it's like,
Yeah.
because the whole time, like, we were talking, and it was like kind of like Charlie Brown, the mama, as she was talking in my mind, I was like, oh man, how do I go about like, hey, you want to split the bill? I'm like, oh, maybe the waitress comes and asks us, so I'm not the one to bring up the idea. And then she comes over, I'm like, oh yeah, she's gonna ask. Sets down one bill.
That's the thing. In
It was so
that's
bad.
the thing. In Utah, that's expected. Like in Utah, you should expect. To
Yeah,
pay.
it was one guy, one girl in the booth, and it was
exactly.
like one bill.
Whereas,
so.
like, I feel like outside of Utah, it would be like, "You guys paying together?" Like they would ask. However, I do think,
or
like,
once it hits the third person, then it's like, how is it?
I think in other states, like in Vegas, we're married, and they come up and be like, "You pay together?" And we're like, "Yeah." So it's like I really do think it's where you are.
Okay.
Whereas here, it's like they see a young boy, sexy young man with a lady
With big wallet.
big old wallet. They say he pay.
I'm walking around with straight Jenga in my pocket, just cylinder out my front
Dude, straight
pocket.
sitting on the Bible.
Yeah. Just got a Cheez-It box in my back pocket.
I believe that. Have you seen your room? There's Cheez-It boxes.
Everywhere.
So now I have this Swiss Army knife of just any and Ethan's advice. It's like that nail filer. Tim's advice.
Big old
the
knife.
Big old handsaw.
Oh
just
yeah.
Straight past the awkward.
He's right. 100%. 100%. The best way to do it is like you say.
Just rip it
So
off like
I'll
a
pay
big-
for myself, anyways. How'd you like? And then just keep going.
So I'll pay
Steam
for myself.
train.
Anyways, hey, can you pay for yourself?
Don't do that. That's extra awkward.
Okay, one thing. I'm surprised you let her take you out again after that.
Am I gonna say no?
Yes.
That's
I'd be
that's
like,
it.
you know what?
I'm not ready to talk
I-
about that. That's
I
a
had
different day.
A good time, but I don't like think we're compatible. So I'm just gonna say no. I'd be like, no.
No,
I'm sorry.
legit. That's what I've told him that so many times. Be like, hey, I'm really like I like you're a great friend. I'm not attracted to you at all. Like that's the best way to do it. Just be like, hey, I really like you're a great person. I value you as a human being. However, I'm not looking for a relationship right now.
I would rather Kurt Cobain myself.
No, I'm not even gonna say that.
Instead of saying no, I'll just take my life.
You'll just pull a John Mulaney.
Tim, I can't avoid the awkward. Oh yeah. Hey, anyways, I'll just kill myself. See you in the afterlife.
Okay, I think it's.
We'll grab some
No,
man on the way
you
out.
just have. You just have an attractive like personality to like women though. So
I
it's
didn't do
like,
anything.
They're gonna
I didn't
ask
do
you,
anything.
So you better get used to
Hold
this,
on, hold
saying
on.
yes or no.
So on top of all of this, I would say on these dates there hasn't been anything where like, because I'm not in a mood or at a place where it's like I want to find like a relationship right now. So it's like I've done nothing to invest into this, but it has gone farther than my control. It has grown mucho.
Like Brendan said, you're attractive to females. I can tell you why. This is why my sister was into you, dog. my youngest sister, all about this boy. She was like, he's so hot. And she made him take her on her first date when she turned 16. Awkward.
So there was one awkward moment where we went to this place and I ordered like food and then she ordered a drink. And then we were talking, and I ended up setting the food down on, like, the back seat or something. And then later, she, I guess she's got hawk vision and an elephant memory. So she remembered that I set it down. And then she told you that I didn't eat the sandwich from the place.
Oh, she thought you were like...
Yeah, that I didn't like the place. And I was like, oh, no, I just forgot about it because it was in the back seat. Like, we were talking. And it's like, it's in my fridge right now. And he's like, oh. So that was, yeah. No, but looking back through all my dates, like that one was one of just I had fun. And I've changed my mindset now where it's like when I go on dates with girls, I used to be like, oh, hopefully she's having fun. Now it's just like, well, at least I'm having fun. Yeah, so it's like if they're not able to have fun without me entertaining them, that is just like extra
That's a
bonus
red
points.
flag right there.
Yeah, and that's what I've learned.
I don't want to have to babysit somebody.
Exactly.
I want somebody to have their own kind of purpose behind their back to kind of like push them forward,
Exactly.
That's why I'm a picky dater. I'm a pretty picky guy.
As well you should be.
Yeah.
But with that, I can tell you exactly why you are sexy. But the sexiest part, confident. You are pure confidence. You
Except for
exude
the awkward moments.
masculine energy around women. I've seen it.
And you're tall.
And you're tall.
And funny.
Well, but that's confidence. Legitimately, that is confidence. The fact that you talk to women on dates. Let me tell you, my first few dates, it was
Dead silence.
Oh, look at that. Look.
I have an Ethan story. Ethan, do you remember my first date I went on with you?
Oh, no.
Tim was there.
I don't think I was.
I don't think I've
What?
heard this story.
We went to Jamba Juice.
Oh.
Oh, was it?
I don't know.
Was
Go
that
ahead,
it?
Tim. Tell the story.
No, you start. I don't know if I'm thinking of the right one.
I think it's Sarah.
Just.
Yeah.
don't
I
think
went
it's
with
right.
Sarah. You went with Kenzie.
I don't know though. Just you start it, and I'll know if I did or
So
not.
Tim went with female. But this story is just about Ethan.
Yeah, so just go. I don't remember.
You
it.
gotta finish it. This is how Tim. I want Tim's explanation. So
I don't
went
remember
there.
which one.
Ethan just popping off with them jokes
What, those
and
dad
puns.
jokes?
Very punny this night.
You know what? Puns aren't at their best until they get a full grown.
No, which isn't bad, but you were saying so many back to back that they just got worse and worse
Yeah.
and worse. And there was a point in the date where Ethan's date.
Was that the one that?
I lost control.
Yeah, basically.
No.
So I don't know,
Yeah,
Tim. It's not that big of a story, but Ethan's date was literally like reached over the table after you were doing all the puns, and everyone kind of just kept exchanging awkward looks. Your date just leans over and like grabbed your hand. And is like, you have to stop.
You're about to kill
The
me.
whole group. So that was like, oh yeah, that was a fun date though.
It was a fun date.
What did we do?
We
We just went to Jamba Juice, I think.
You went with that blonde-haired girl that had glasses. I can't remember. She had like circle glasses.
Oh.
I can't remember what. I
wish
When
I
did we
Did we
remembered.
do
do-
skating that time?
think we went to classic skating.
Oh, okay. I don't remember her, but I remember that.
She's a big reader from her hairstyle.
Big
Librarian hair.
Yeah, you guys know what
I
I'm
know
talking
you know
about.
the one. Yeah, yeah.
Man, my
Hair tied back.
memory just.
There's a clip in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And
Anywho,
Tim, what's your favorite date? Favorite date you've been on?
So like nothing too crazy, but it was actually the foreign exchange student from Germany.
oh,
Oh,
So-
yeah.
He-
I remember that.
he likes
Yeah.
those exotic
What?
flavors.
Did I go with you? No.
I don't think so.
Did
Yeah.
you went
no.
alone?
Yeah, you,
No,
you
it was
told
like a
us
big
about
group.
it.
Yeah.
Like nothing too crazy about it, but
What'd
it was
you
just
guys
like
do?
so fun to just like talk. It's just like the person you just have a great time talking. It's like that's
It's
almost makes the best.
it's just
date. It really
interesting
does.
too because they're like from a different country, so you have so much to talk about because
Yeah.
your like cultures are different, but
So
like
true.
everything is different.
Do you remember
So-
when she was leaving and we were at a goodbye party and then we were leaving and then she was like, "Oh, bye, I miss you." I was like, we didn't know her that well. It was like a 3 out of 10. Like we knew of her, we knew her name, and she was like, "Bye, I'll miss you." And then she was giving everyone hugs, and we were like in the line. She was like, "Bye, I'll miss you," and she was like giving us hugs, like, "I'll miss you so much." And it was like, "Please stay in touch." I was like, "I'm not staying in touch. I don't know you." So what'd you guys do on the date? You just talked? Did you do an activity?
See, this is where it was different than Ethan. He remembered the activity, but not the girl. I remember the girl, not the activity. So see, that's at least where it should be.
She left a mark on your brain.
She was German, dog. Of course she did. My wife's German.
The one thing I remember about your date was that shared room we had in FBLA in high school. Do you remember? Reno rented the 2 rooms, and then she came to our rooms and looked at them, and there was the connected middle room door. She was like, and then she tried to like switch her rooms, but she couldn't. So she's like, "This door better stay closed," because it was all guys, all girls in one, and then there was that in between.
Oh,
And I remember it was open one of the times because we were playing cards in between it. And then I remember looking over. So this one girl, I look over, obviously knows the door's open, cracks the bathroom door open, all underwear. Do you remember that time you witnessed her trying to kiss me and I almost trashed her face in the door?
Yeah.
And then you came up and you were like, "Woo!"
that was a crazy person, and I'll have to say.
That person was
She
Yeah.
dated my brother. I'm glad she'd not go with him.
She has
Yeah.
children, and has been divorced multiple
Really?
times.
Oh,
Yeah.
she got married twice. I think she's
That makes sense, but okay.
You'd think
Yeah.
after 3, be like, no, time to stop.
No, that was, yeah.
She married like a super member, and she went to BYU. She married a super member, went to BYU, and then they got like divorced in like 6 months. She remarried, and then it was like 2 months after that. It was like she was just getting engagement rings, like ring pops.
She was collecting
Yeah.
rings like Thanos collected stones.
Yeah. So that's just good advice for dating, I guess. Oh, Brendan, what's your favorite date? Or something, a good date story.
let me see. I don't have really. I don't know. Probably my most nostalgic like date was probably going out with my like kind of childhood crush or whatever. So like growing up, just, like I had a crush on her like hard. And so anyway, and we were also just like good friends too, first of all, so that like just helped everything. So we kind of knew each other, and then finally I asked her out, and then it just kind of, I don't know, it's just nostalgic for me because it was like, dang, finally like childhood almost like dream coming true, So that was like a really good one. Probably the worst date story I have, or like just date story, was I took out this chick that was while I was in California and everything. Oh, that's where you went. And
That is problem number 1.
yep,
Yeah.
I messed up, and I think after that day, I didn't date anymore. So.
And he hasn't dated to this day.
It was a big.
When I decided basically I would not date in California while I was there at all. I
Good
was like,
choice.
nope, I'm going to wait until I get back. I was like, screw that. Nope, no way.
No
And
Daisy
so-
Dukes for this
yeah,
boy.
so I would just come home from California like for the holidays, and I would ask girls out that I knew. So I'd be like, yeah, this is way better than freaking California. But anyway, like she was super attractive. Like she was like a good 8 or 9 in my opinion. But anyway, so I took her out. We were just gonna go get like drinks or whatever at like a coffee shop and stuff like that. So I was just like, okay, I want to just kind of gauge her off, like kind of for like obviously like we had good conversation. Another mistake that I made was I was on a dating app. So
Tinder.
Yep, Tinder.
Oh no.
Big mistake.
That's just a red flag, and it's red in general. So, but anyway, so I took this girl out, and by like she was a good like 8 or 9, but by the end of the day, she was like a 4. Personality. Just because of her personality, she just whined entire time about her like entitlement and not being able to get like the best handbag, the best like nails, the freaking best shoes and everything. And I just looked at that and I was like,
Welcome
what
to
do you
Cali.
want me to do on a freaking like $20,000 freaking yearly rate? I was like, I'm not going to be able to keep up with that. And then at the same time, I was like, you literally have nothing else going for you. Like, you literally just sit at home, do nothing else.
I will
and she just
say,
talks about her Instagram
I don't
story.
think, you know, when people say like a girl can look good from like a 1 to 10, I feel like the max somebody can get is like maybe a 6 or a 7, and the rest is personality.
Yeah.
I don't think somebody like
That makes
nobody
sense.
can be a
It
natural.
could go
like,
to like an 8.
a 10
what makes
has
it
to
a
be
10
they
is
look good and
personality.
they have a great personality. That's a
Yeah,
10 for
yeah.
me. It's not just
Correct.
okay. Yeah, that was.
Well, I don't know. I feel like there's 2 different scales. So there's scale of personality and then
Yeah, the
scale of
personality
looks.
scale.
So I was,
That is true.
I was going off of a personality like scale, but like so her like look scale was like an 8 or 9. But her like personality scale was just trash too.
Oh, no, yeah.
You know, which made her like a 4.
averaged out to 3.5.
I'll agree. I'll agree with that. Where it's, I feel like there's 2. They affect each other. Well, more personality affects the looks,
Yeah.
but the looks are also independent. There's
Yeah.
my wife, 10.
I will say your wife is. No.
Hey,
Nah, like I said.
Oh.
I'm gonna rate your wife. I'm rating your wife. That's weird.
Yeah.
now you
Yeah,
gotta rate
just
all
a
the
bit.
boys' wives.
Rate Ethan's wife, dog.
So what's your best date story?
Good move. Good move.
Me?
Well played.
All the homies' wives are 10s.
Always.
Fact.
Fact.
Uh,
Corbin, go first.
I can't tell you.
What about one of
I've
those
been on like
4 a.m.
I've been on
times?
like 3 dates.
Disgusting.
I went. My first date was sophomore prom.
And that
And
lasts
then
like
I
2
went-
years.
Who'd you go with? Forget.
Cassidy
Yeah.
Cassie, yeah.
Cassidy
Cassidy Jensen.
Yeah.
Quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
I think. Yeah, and then
Well, you also went to a different school than us as well.
No, he didn't.
no,
Not sophomore.
sophomore year. I
Oh,
went to
sophomore
Salem.
year, yeah, but
Yeah.
the other ones,
Yeah, the other 2, yeah.
Middle school. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Baby.
got him.
It's all good. It's all good.
And now like doesn't
Um,
even matter. You're this old.
Yeah.
No, I will say, like, dude, do you know Sadie's, the dance? That was like, that was a pretty good one.
How good on a 1 day?
I've only been on a few dates, so like a 10. No, but it was like we went to a haunted house because it was October, and then like you know, haunted house was like.
With your wife?
No, we just hung out every day like friends. Like me and my wife, it was just I go over to her every day after school. I'd be at her house. Yeah. Yeah. And thank goodness, because I was Senor Whore before that.
You're like, you just toned it down. Just okay, let's just lower that level.
More like senior horny.
That's what that means, dog.
Whore means like you're freaking like selling yourself out to the women, dude.
Corbin was Senor Free Sample.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you want to. I don't know if I have a pretty like. I was bad.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Okay.
Anyways, it was Sadie's. It was Sadie's. It was like Halloween, you know. We went to a haunted house. We went to the dance. They were dropping me off. Dude, I got that cheek kiss. So good. So good. And she was all about it. And we dated for a week, and then she broke up with me. That was every relationship before my wife. I was broken up with by the girl, after like 2 weeks. Every one. Because I was horrible.
How long did you wait to ask her to be like your, like,
Like the next week.
the heck?
You got a problem?
Yeah. That's like quick AF.
So
Utah, dog.
No.
speaking of dances, did anyone get kiss on dance?
I got pegged. How's it?
I always kissed on dances.
You always went for it?
Yo.
I think I was actively no.
I was actively
I think I'd go in for the hug, and I would wrap it up after the hug, so there was no chance. I was like, I ain't kissing a high school. I was like, I'm going to try to leave, as Dave Chappelle once said, I'm going to try to leave with the lips I came with. I am not getting herpes from Senorita free sample in high school. Fetch that.
You're not gonna get herpes from that.
Yeah.
You're with me, though.
Yeah,
That's
same,
only
same.
if like she to the streets, my guy.
I'll take a cheek kiss. I ain't going for straight.
Oh no.
Dog.
If I had a second large date, then I would.
Yeah, no, I would. Travis's advice is go on more dates and go on 0 dances. That's my advice looking back.
Really?
The good part about the I'm not gonna pay
I didn't make the whole
$40
dance
to go
like the
stand
entire
in the
thing of the
gym
date, though.
while some amateur DJ plays radio music and then goes in the middle of a good song. It's like you just messed up the song. And
I
then
don't know
can
what
go
kind of dances you went on, but
homo school dances that would have teachers in the bathroom so you don't get it on.
And kids
Dude,
still
I'm
got caught getting it
It's
on.
not gonna be in a bathroom. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. He did it under the bleachers.
Ethan, favorite date?
Okay. My absolute favorite would have to be my first date with my wife.
Very good.
Oh, he's trying to get brownie points. She don't listen to this.
Fact.
You can say a different date.
I love you, boo.
Okay.
I will say though,
Done.
the most wholesome. I mean, like I can say that later, whatever. But
She actually watches the podcast?
I have no clue. I think she low key does, but I'm not sure. But I will like that was my favorite.
No.
9.
Oh, I will say that was my favorite one with my wife because I absolutely love her to bits. But I will say the most wholesome one. I went with this one gal. She was pretty chill, very laid back. I remember we went to like a Sadie Hawkins dance. She asked me out, and at one point during that, it was like halfway through the dance, she suddenly was like, "Hey, sorry, I have to go. There's like a family emergency." But
Instant lie.
it's been a great night. Thank you so much for having me. And I was
You
like,
got juked,
yeah,
dog.
sure, cool. I was absolute woman simp where I'm just like, yeah, whatever you want to do. And
Did you
no,
call her Madame during that night at all?
no.
Oh,
He did. That's a lie.
But then like 5-10 minutes later, so here I am. I'm feeling a little bad, but I'm still fine because we're at the dance. We basically had the day over,
But
so
you're
it's like,
solo.
but I'm solo, but then suddenly 5-10 minutes later, she comes walking back in with a can of Coke in each hand, one for her, and she's like, "I'm just kidding with you. Here, I got you." So then I'm just like, "Oh my gosh!"
She flaked. She's like, I can't do this to this nice guy. So she
100%.
came back.
100%. She dipped and then she said, "Oh, I feel bad. I feel bad."
No,
Yeah.
but,
Or
but that's
her
the thing.
righteous district.
Coke.
that?
No, that's garbage.
that is
If that was
crazy.
like just a tactic or something, garbage.
Oh, because we were good friends at this point, and we were just. It wasn't like we were in love with each other or like we were trying to set a precedent or anything.
Who's this?
Okay,
Sorry, we were talking.
no, that's fine. Well, it ended up like maybe like half a year later. I asked her to the prom. She was my prom date, and I remember we were doing the dance. We had the date finished. We were doing the dance, and halfway through it, I timed it perfectly. I'm like, "Hey, sorry, I have to go. Family emergency, but it was great dancing with you." And she, of course, was like, just like, "Oh yeah, totally fine." And I left, got her favorite soda. I got me a Coke, went back, and was just like, JK, messing with you. Here's your soda. We're going, and we just danced the rest of the night, and it was just.
Okay, that is kind of funny though. You're just like, I got her back on it.
I got
you.
back.
I got you.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty sick.
I found it completely wholesome because we were good friends. We were never like mean to each other, and then we just. I just felt like it was very wholesome.
Yeah. Okay, that's a lot different than I took someone out and then they joked and she came back. I thought you were gonna say she came back with 2 sodas. One was for her and the other one was for the guy she really liked. And I was about to be like,
No, I mean
There
was
would
a
have been some-
G.
there
There
would
would
have
have
been
been
some
some
fight.
tension. There would
Yeah,
have been some
there would have
tension.
been some-
But she was a real G. She was really cool. I liked hanging out with her.
so Tim went on the date. You went on that group date with Ryan. Do you remember?
Yeah,
It
I was
was
there with
homecoming.
him.
Brendan. Yeah, Brendan was there. Were you?
Who else was it?
It was me, you, Ryan, and
Ryan's friend.
Taylor Callie, I think.
No, it wasn't Taylor. It was Ryan's friend. It was a different Ryan's friend. But you remember when Ryan did the splits and
Yeah,
tore
and he
his
ripped
pants?
his pants.
In
That
the
was so,
dance.
I forgot
Ryan-
about that. That
but-
was so good.
But it was so good because he did it like twice or 3 times before. So on the 4th one, it was like, oh man, did he rip his pants?
Dude, we were in a
Yeah.
circle and everybody was circling around and he did it and everybody was laughing. But dude, he played with it, dude. He was freaking awesome.
Ryan sent it on those dances.
Yeah,
He
That was
did.
the funnest part for me. It was just
That was
watching
fun.
him.
Watching Ryan.
I thought you were there with us.
I was. That's why
Yeah.
I brought up the story.
Okay, yeah. It's like,
No, I've only heard about this in
I thought you
religion.
just. Never mind.
Ryan's
No,
friend was there. He had like short brown hair, brown eyes.
Yeah.
Was it Jeff Black?
No.
There's
Who
one of
was
his
it?
From
other
high school.
friends. I don't
It was from
remember.
high school.
Somebody else. Yeah. I want to hear from Corbin and Ethan. So, what do you guys think? So, you guys got married what age? You guys got married pretty young.
20 years, baby.
And then you, Ethan?
I got married when I was 22.
Okay, so you were it's not as bad. But anyway, I'm not saying that it's bad, but do you guys regret Do you guys regret at all like getting married so soon or anything?
It wasn't soon in regards to our relationship. We dated from 2017 to 2019. No.
Yeah.
I hated dating. Dating was my least favorite part of life. I wanted the cow. I wanted the milk, but I didn't want the cow.
Oh my goodness.
That it's a legit saying. It's why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? It's like why marry someone when you can just date around and sleep around
You
and all
agree
that?
with the saying, if you know, why wait?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
Huh.
I believe that. You
Because
disagree.
I don't know. Because in my opinion, I just felt like especially like getting out of high school and everything just was going like I literally had the entire like world open up to me. So I was like, you know what? I want some cool experiences before I get like knotted down or anything. And I want to be able to have something to show for myself when I do like get back into the dating like style and everything.
see, or you can marry someone and have those experiences with them.
No, that's true though.
And we also went through graduated college before we got married. Graduated, then we
that
got
helps.
married. So we
Okay.
dated from, I mean, technically we met in 2016, started dating February 2017, got married June 2019 after we graduated college.
I
So
don't know.
we dated
Also,
for
I think I
2
just wasn't
years.
like as mature at the age and stuff
Fair.
like that. So I don't know. It just depends on like your maturity level. But I had like a lot of growing up to do, which I got freaking face slapped with pretty hard. And so I don't know. It was just now I feel like yes, but at the same time, like now I'm like all my time and effort is into school now. So it's like, you know, I don't have like the time or energy to be able to like push and put in effort into a relationship that like, you know, like I could just be like, hey, I've got these things going on. I can't give you the time you deserve and stuff like that. So I just don't want, I just gonna minimize that risk and say like, you know, I'm not gonna date for a minute or like, you know, if something does come up and I feel really strongly about something, then yeah, I will date. But at the same time, it's like, you know, plus I am moving soon. So that kind of cuts into it too. Yeah, so I'm moving down to Cedar City if you guys don't know.
Oh, that's a drive.
Oh boy, what are
Well-
you doing down there, boy?
Well, I got helicopter training down there, so afterwards, if you guys want rides,
We know it.
yeah,
There we-
film it.
It's like 45-minute drive though, right? From us.
No, it's like two and a half.
Never mind.
Yeah, I'll just pick you up in the freaking park. I'll just pick you up and we can go.
Make
Like,
sure,
hey guys,
make sure you have Wi-Fi down there, dog, so we can play.
definitely.
I will say, first of all, definitely start out just slow with whatever you want to do with dating, with everything, because you, like when I met my wife, I didn't have the whole like love at first sight. Oh, the angels were coming down and saying, this is the one.
I feel like that if you look at somebody, you can kind of like if there's certain personalities that make like people look certain ways. Like I feel like your
That's the thing, though. But
personality
you don't talk to
builds-
people until you have an interest in them. That base
Yeah.
interest is they
So
would carry my
okay.
genes well.
For me, I see all these like blonde chicks that look the exact same, and automatically my brain's like, "Yep, shut down. Nope, not at all. Sure, she's hot, but I just know off the bat, I'm like her personality, Duke."
Because of your
So I'm like,
experiences
nope,
with
not gonna
other
try.
blondes.
And that sucks too, though, because it's like she could be nice, she could be a good girl, and but at the same time, I'm just not even gonna try because some of these girls just all look the same, and all are like you just get burned so much from.
You want to find someone who you literally marry your best friend. Communication is key.
Yep.
Talk it out always, no matter what situation. If you need to take hours, days to talk about something, do so. You are marrying this person for life, for eternity, and you just want to make sure you're covering all your bases.
Okay, let me ask: is this a good rule of thumb then? So like I keep this kind of rule of thumb for me is I'll date somebody through most of the seasons just to see kind of how they react, Also, like, another thing is family, too. Like, you're not just marrying the girl. You're marrying her family as well. So,
Oh, yes.
like, it could be, like, she's super, like, awesome and everything, but her, like, family's, like, I'm going to shiv you in the night, So it's like, nah, you got to roll the die, dude.
Did you mean my current marriage?
Yeah.
Her family is very interesting, but both of ours are. Mine's
I don't know.
my
I
family's
feel like
nuts.
every in-law is interesting.
That is true though. Like in-laws, like all my family in-laws, it's like my direct in-law who's married, super cool. Yeah. Some of their family, you find out stuff that you're like, are you guys running from the law?
Dude, I will say this.
Yeah,
My in-laws, so good. They're amazing. They're
Fresh baby calf roast beef?
basically.
Yeah, like in-laws is a big thing because like I have two sisters. One of my sister's husbands basically, or one of my sisters, her family's awesome. Her in-laws are awesome, and we freaking love their family. And her husband's freaking awesome. Other sister, I can truly say that her husband ruined her life. Like, and it's still ruined, and it's still down the drain, and it literally impacted our entire family. So it's like, so like literally, if I ever saw that guy, I would probably just sock him in the face. Like, wouldn't even let like any word out. Just silent. Gone. I'd probably call up the boys and be like, hey, hold me back or come and help me. Like, I'd be like, yo.
You got to help her right here, dog.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Good rule of thumb. If you're marrying someone, see how their mother is. You want to see, because you really gotta feel it out. I mean, I dated my wife for like 2 years before doing the whole marriage thing.
In regards to that, we got engaged November 2018. We were marrying June 2019. 7-month engagement. We had friends at college who met, started dating, got engaged, got married, and moved in before we even graduated college. Like from the time we got engaged,
I'm sorry, but
post engagement, we got engaged. The next month they met and then they were engaged and married and moved in before we had graduated. So like within our engagement period, we had multiple friends who met, started dating, got engaged, and got married 3-4 months.
That's kind of the average around here. It's not that short, but it's like 6 months, which it's one of.
For your whole life, that's short.
It's insanely short. I'm just saying, like, generally, like,
It does help that the general populace has the kind of same beliefs and same values as you.
that also plays into, I think, what you're saying, which I think is a lot more common here, because I feel like we just have a lot more religious people here that are all from the same people. It's like, when you know, you know, but you got to be careful with that, because when you know, and then you go, is that a skeleton in the closet? You're like, hey, what the heck is this?
No, I have a story.
Exactly.
I have a
That's
story.
why dating for 2 years, all of my skeletons out. All of them. All of them.
Get him out.
All of them, dog. All. I picked the lock. Anyways. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is that why you won't let me see it?
Oh, we're getting to it, boys.
But
6 foot distance.
Lock your doors.
What was you? Oh, yeah, but most of those people, like 95% of the people that did that when we were in college are now divorced.
Oh, so good. Did you have your wrapping up point? I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, no, just basically, you're in this marriage to be happy. Make it happy. Communicate. You'll be fine.
You just got a piece of that.